Hi, this is our last lesson in the series on playing chords. Today we're just going to kind of fill in all the details, ninth chords, 11th chords, and suspended chords, and we'll talk a little bit about charting the chords. If you're new at playing more advanced songs or even beginner songs, if you learn to chart your chords, I think you'll find it makes it a lot easier to figure out how to play them. So we'll see you in a few minutes and we'll just get started. Okay, we're just about ready to finish up with this book. If you don't have the book, you really need to get it. I think you can watch the videos, but without the written material, it's kind of hard to follow. I'm trying to learn how to crochet, and I love the videos on YouTube, but I have to watch them like 10 times before I get it. So when I watch a certain pattern that I'm trying to learn, now I can go to a book and it helps me understand the book a little bit better. So we're on page 37, ninth chords. So we have these three mystery chords, 9th, 11th, and suspended. All right, we're not going to get into 13th chords or that right now, but 9th chords are really pretty, and you can substitute them for a 7th chord, or because they walk to a 7th chord. And they're really kind of fun to play. It says 9th chords are very easy. Simply play a C7 chord with a C pedal, and that's if you're playing an organ. Drop the C out of the chord and raise it one whole step to a D. C9 is spelled G, B flat, D, E. The best inversion for a 9th chord is the first inversion. To get to the first inversion easily, follow these rules. All right. Rule number 1, you're going to play the chord name, the root. So if you want to play a C9 chord, you put your thumb on C. Number 2, you build the rest of the chord underneath. So way back in lesson 1, I told you to start memorizing those basic 7 chords. Now you're going to realize how important that was. C, E, G. You build the chord. That's a C chord in the first inversion, meaning the name of the chord is on the top or first. Okay? Then I'm going to add the 7th. So I call this, you can just straddle that root. You're going to go a whole step to the left, which is the 7th. That's C7. And you drop the C note out and you move it up a whole step. The 9th is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's one note above that 8, or the octave. So the 9 is actually the same as the second step of the scale, only it's an octave higher. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I keep going, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's where those numbers come from. It's how far is it from the root note. Okay, so if I want to play a G9, I put my thumb on G, spell it, G, B, D, and then I add the 7th, which is a whole step to the left, take the G and move it up a whole step, and there's my 9th. Isn't that pretty? There's such beautiful chords, okay? So I want to play F now. F, F, A, C, whole step to the left, lean to the left, whole step to the right. Now, 9th chords usually resolve back to the 7th chord. So all I'm gonna do is just take that 9th and move it back from G to F. And there's F7. But what's cool is there's also a flatted 9th to get to that 7th. So you can go flat the G. Isn't that pretty? Alright, so let's do the C9. Thumb on C, E, G, whole step to the left, whole step to the right. Now let's just walk it back. Flatted 9th, C7. Isn't that neat? So that's page 37th. Page 37. So if you're playing a 9th chord and you just want something really pretty, see, you get that just beautiful kind of. See, and then C7 always goes to F. So it's just really nice. If you're just playing a song and you see C7, you go, oh, I think I'll try a ninth chord there in its place and see how it sounds. Okay? All right. We could spend a lot of time on this, but we're going to move on. Page 38, 11th chords. These were always a mystery to me. But when someone told me this, I went, oh my gosh, it's that easy? So 11th chords are easy to figure out. Think of the chord always in the root position. If the chord symbol says G11, simply play a G pedal, which we're not playing the organ right now, but you can play a G octave in the root note, okay? And make the chord out of the note one whole step left of G, which is F. So G11 is spelled F-A-C with a G bass. All right, so here's the easiest way to think of it. If the chord says G11, you're going to play an F chord. Okay, now watch. If I put the G on the bottom, on the bass, and I play an F chord, okay? Now, this chord has to go somewhere. Can you tell where? It goes to G7. Okay, so let's try a C11. So I play a C in the bass, and here's a C chord in the root position. I'm going to move it down to a B flat. And here's C7, or C. Okay, B flat, C. C7 that way, or I can go this way, just to C. All right, so an 11th chord is just kind of a leading chord. It has to go somewhere, and it goes. If you're playing a C11, it's a B flat chord, and it goes back to C chord. Okay? Now the 11th means this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay? So how do I describe it? It's just a whole step down. Okay? Yeah, that's the easiest way, I think, we'll just leave it at that. Okay, suspended chords. To suspend a chord, you sharp the third. Sometimes you'll see C2, sometimes or C plus 4, not C2, C plus 4. I never could figure out which one was the 4. So it's easier to just play a C chord and sharp the third. The note that you would flat to make a minor, you're going to sharp to suspend. I think it sounds like an amen chord. It's actually almost an F chord. See? It's just one note short of moving to an F chord. Okay? So suspended chords are really pretty. They always remind me of an amen at the end of a song. So to suspend a C chord, I just find the third, C, D, E, sharp it. Amen. There it is. G suspended, G, B, D. I'm going to take the B and move it up to C. They're very kind of reverent kind of chords. Okay? B flat. See? All right. When a chord is suspended, it always goes back to the major chord that it came from. All right. So those are the more advanced chords. On page 39, this is kind of now you know the right way. You can cheat and do it faster. This is called the emergency plan. Everything you need to know to play the chords is on this sheet. It's also on that little chord, the little folder that we did the PDF that you sit on your piano. It's on that little card also. But page 39 is pretty much if you're in a bind, or if you just want to have it, to just kind of keep you oriented, just put page 39 up on your music rack and you'll be able to figure out every chord from what we've learned. Here's a chord chart that I added. Play by ear, we did a series on that already, so you can go back and find that on YouTube. Page 43, two most basic chord progressions. We talked about the blues. C, 1 to the right on the circle, back to C, 1 to the left. This one 16251 chord progression we also talked about a lot in the play by ear video. But this one's kind of cool because all it is using the circle, it's from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock in any key. So C, F, and G are the major chords in the key of C. The relative minor chord for the key of C is A. It's always at 9 o'clock. So if someone says to you, I'm playing in the key of A minor, that's the relative key to the key of C. All right, so to play this 16251, which is probably the most famous chord progression like this. Okay, so it's just 16251, C, A minor, D minor, G. All right, so that's, and these are all can be sevenths, and that's a later class. All right, if I want to do it in G, I put G here, and 9 o'clock is E minor. So it's G, E minor, A minor, D, and G. Same sound, different key. All right, so you can just sit at the piano and go, let's just try a C chord here. You know how many songs were written with this chord progression? Hundreds, thousands probably. Here's the 60s. Maybe the 50s. You can heart and soul, you can think of just dozens and dozens of songs that'll go with that. So every kid that ever came into my piano store, over and over and over and over, and the other person sits there and goes, that's that chord progression. Okay, so you can practice that and have some fun. The last thing I'd like to tell you, when I teach students and you get a difficult song and you're trying to find out the best positions to put your hand in as far as so you're not jumping all over the keyboard, it's called charting chords. So what you do is it says the best way to understand how easily chords work together is to chart them. If you're seriously working on a piece of music and want to understand the chord progressions and how to invert them for ease in playing, charting them helps to see how little movement is required. Copy this example or make your own chord chart, or you'll be amazed at how it helps you. So simply you have 4 columns and then the big column, and you write your chords before you even fill it in. It's kind of like a crossword puzzle for music. Write all the chords out that are in the song in the order that you see them. Then you start to figure out where to put what inversions. All right, and then what will happen when you're done is you're going to find, like column number 1 here, your thumb is playing all E's and F's. Your second finger is all playing C's and D's and D sharps. This finger is going to play all A's and B's and B flats. And this finger is going to play all G's. So it helps you to see that you don't have a lot of movement, and it takes kind of the fear of playing those chords out. And then, now this is the big chord chart, and I put the majors and minor chords over here in the root position. But then you could just tack it on to the song. I just cut this out and tape it on the songs that I'm working on, and I have them to use as a reference. And I don't need to use them very long, but I'm going to make a better one of this and put it up as a PDF for you. So you can make your own. Just take them to a copy place, or if you have a copy machine at home, just run them off. You can make them easily. It's just 4 columns and then just a big column for your chords. And I think you're going to find it to be very, very helpful when you're trying to put together some music and you learn a piece. So now the rest is kind of up to you. I need you to just take your time, go through the book, and you know I'm not a professional musician, but I really love to teach people how to play. And over the years, the people that have used the methods that I've come up with, and none of my methods are anything new. Everybody knows this. It's just how you approach it. You can either be scared to death, or you can say, okay, I know the 7 basic Bisquick chords, and I know how to change them to make other chords. with that knowledge, you can just sit down and just play and have a really good time, and that's kind of our goal. So enjoy it. We'll see you. We're going to be doing some more series, and we'll let you know when they come out. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this series with us. I enjoyed doing it. I do it just because I like to share what I know. I've been teaching for many, many years, and on the videos that you get with the books, they're all done in group. These new videos that we're doing are done in my home. My husband's the videographer, and we have really enjoyed working with this. If you're watching this conclusion, then you have finished all 13 lessons. I hope you've enjoyed them as much as I've enjoyed doing them. Please go to our website, sacramentomusicgroup.com. It shows you all of the materials that I have available, and also the links to download the PDF files that you need. And thank you actually for this, all of you that are writing to me and sending me comments either on Facebook or on email, and there's a link on our webpage to email me. So I appreciate all of the kind words, and I appreciate all the suggestions. If you have suggestions of things that you'd like to learn in future videos or questions that I can answer for you, I try to keep up with my emails. Sometimes I get a little bit behind, but also a lot of you are requesting PDFs from the old series that I did, the group. They're not available anymore. My student that did that, did all of those for me, unfortunately has passed away, and I don't have access to those files anymore. So, but any of the new PDF files you can find on our website. So thank you again for supporting us and just being our friends. We feel like we get to come into your home and help you to enjoy just the process of playing music. All right, we'll see you again in a few weeks with our video on how to use a portable keyboard. I hope you enjoy it. Bye.